Hello my fellow board gamers and welcome to the channel. I have a very special video for you guys today. With Essen Spiel rapidly approaching, I have got a top 10 economic board games for you guys to be aware of if you are going to the convention. These games need to be on your radar, and even if you're not going, these games are most likely to hit your retailers and the market over the next few months. So to kick straight off at number 10, we have, that's right, Pipeline Emerging Markets. Now this one is an expansion. It's the first expansion for the original Pipeline. It's brought to you by Ryan Courtney. Now this one I haven't played yet. I am looking forward to getting this one played, hopefully in the next few months, and get a video out for you guys. Now a little bit of brief on this one. It's the success of your company is opening up new markets full of opportunities. With your expertise and logistical innovations, you'll hopefully introduce new technologies and new innovations with the emergence of these new markets. So I'm very much looking to see what this expansion can bring to the original game. And I love those oil themed games, things like Peak Oil, Wildcatters, Crude the Oil game. There's a host of goody oil games out there, and there's just something about them that attracts me to that oil industry and wanting to see how they function and how you can run those companies as best as you can. Next then, at number 9, we have quite an under the radar game, this one, Fruticola, and this is a 2 to 4 player game. It plays quite quickly, 45 to 60 minutes it says, and it's a sort of light / medium weight game. Now the designers here, the two designers, Giovanni Fiore and Virginio Gili, that's a familiar name. He brought us Grand Austria Hotel, a video I did recently on that one. That game's grown on me, shall we say. I do appreciate that more than my first play. And he also brought us Lorenzo de Magnifico. So yeah, a very highly talented designer there. And this one in particular, you can see it's got some lovely components there. And the game itself is about players taking on the role of business leaders, and you're specialised in growing and selling fruits and jam. So I've not come across anything quite like this. And you're trying to become the the richest in town by the end of the year. So you get a few workers. It's kind of a worker placement game, and you're farming, and you'll have to choose where to send them. You're going to take them to the orchards, and when to buy those pesticides and fertilizers and all various host of items you're going to need from the shops, and who will prove the best entrepreneur. So this one definitely caught my attention for that whole entrepreneurship type feel. Okay, number 8, we're going through these swiftly. We have a game that's been out for about a month or so, I believe, but it will feature at Essen Spiel, and this is Coffee Traders. I've heard some fantastic things about this one. It is a heavier game though, and this one's where you're developing coffee regions around the world whilst building your coffee trading network. And it's 2 to 5 players, longer player time, this one about 120 to 150 minutes, and it's brought to you by Capstone Games, who feature quite heavily in this list today. And on this game, you're working with your competitors to develop the regions you see fit for the best coffee beans whilst keeping a watchful eye on the markets. You construct buildings to help your fair trade coffee plantations thrive whilst enhancing your network. And then it says in the notes, will your plantations fall to ruin, or will you rise to the top and become the world's greatest coffee trader? So there's a lot about this game I like. Quite heavy, doesn't look that great on the board. There's a lot of moving pieces, but for me, I do like that heavy complexity. Okay, number 7. This is a very interesting, quite unique game. I've not come across it before. 1923 Cotton Club. The theme about running your sort of jazz club, and you're running a club in the 1920s in New York, and you're trying to make it the most successful in town. Now again, this is quite a short game. I kind of like these ones at the moment, adding some variety to my collection. 45 to 60 minutes. It's a lightweight one, this one, and it plays 2 to 4 players, and you can see the board setup there. You are overseeing the club during this sort of prohibition time, and you're trying to smuggle in alcohol. you'll have a look for partners in the criminal world, and you'll be investing money to hire artists and improve your club. And you can see here we've got some of the artists, so some really sort of great Gatsby type artwork there. So really looking forward to seeing what this one is about, and something lighter for the family there. Next we have number 6, a game that came out a long time ago, and it's had a bit of a remake, and there's a few different adjustments to it, and this is Tinner's Trail. This one plays 1 to 5, so a big scope of player range there. 60 to 90 minutes it says, which I'm intrigued by. I thought this game would be on the longer scale, so yeah, looking forward to getting this one to the table. And it's that kind of medium complexity, and most importantly Martin Wallace, the designer here, who brought us Birmingham Brass, Birmingham Lancashire, and a host of other quality games. So very intrigued to see more about this one. And the actual game itself, it's set in the 19th century Cornwall. You're representing a mining conglomerate, and at the height of the tin and copper industry, and you must buy land across Cornwall in auctions to survey them for the materials, tin and copper, and you'll be managing your money as effectively as you can. So a lot of goodness in this one. Next up we have number 5, and this is Imperial Steam. You couldn't have a top 10 list without some trains on the go, and in this one you are planning, building and expanding your railway network during the industrial age. And this one's a 2 to 4 player game. You can see some of the components here as well. Plays about 120 minutes it suggests, and it's on the heavier end of the complexity. And again, this is by Capstone Games, and this one is all about contracts, pick up and deliver, you know, having shares in companies and making the most of your money. And some of the text, it says the industrial age is starting to boom. You're in need of more workers for your factories, and you also need more workers to build railroad tracks to expand your network. This in turn will enable you to deliver the goods from your factories to the cities with high demand, but be sure to earmark goods for fulfilling profitable public contracts as well. So it sounds like it's got a bit of extra on the side there. And also says it's a highly strategic, accessible, economic and logistics game that sees you making difficult decisions as you manage your business operations. That sounds fantastic to me. I love all that logistics, economics, operations, and running your business, and seeing how that variable board goes from time to time. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing that one. Number 4 then, we're getting close. This is a game the previous game, the bigger brother version, is Arkwright, and this one is Arkwright the card game. So I'm hoping to bring you guys the Arkwright, the original video, at some point soon, and this one intrigues me. I want to see whether it can play in a shorter time and how it plays. It's 1 to 4 players. This one says it takes anywhere in the region of 60 to 100 minutes, so we will see. And it's the heavy complexity game as well. And in this one you are running a business and will employ workers in your different factories to produce and sell goods. The more workers, the more goods that can be sold, but be prepared for crisis and some stiff competition. So love the artwork on that one, and I'm hoping for good things. Next up then, at number 3, a game, and another game under the radar, and if I can pronounce it right, I'm very much looking forward to this one. The artwork looks great, and it is Terra Futura, if I can say that. Now this one is where you cultivate your territory and you're creating a self-sufficient economy. You can see some sort of lovely image here. It's 2 to 5 players, says it plays into 20 to 40 minutes, so another light quick game here, and it's a lightweight one as well. Now this reminds me a little bit of another game I own, Prosperity, which is about managing your energy and your ecology and avoiding that pollution, which has some similar facets to this one. Now in terms of what the game is about, you can see it's about building this 3x3 grid, and there's a lot of synergy. When you place a card, it affects the rows, the columns, and you've got all these cubes. There's some money in it, so it definitely has that building your sort of economy and civilization type of, well, not so much civilization, but just seeing this beautiful artwork and the different powers of those cards. And from the actual designer, it's an engine building card game in which you build your land of tomorrow by placing and activating cards in your territory. You get resources, goods, and you're trying to be as effective as you can to win the game. Now it says there's many ways to build your economy. You can make a quick route resulting in pollution, or you can take it slow and clean. And pollution's a vital part of this game. So yeah, Looks great. Not too sure whether it's going to give me enough depth based on the playing time, but definitely up there for that's how it looks and how it feels. And as I say, Prosperity is a game I very much enjoy. Over to number 2 then. Any guesses? So this game had been really successful, and well, you're never going to guess it. So it is Mobile Market. I love Smartphone Inc., and this is kind of, shall we say, the younger brother, the sort of smaller game, shall we say? Well, I haven't played it yet, so maybe I'm out there on the wing. But this is a 1 to 4 player game. Says it plays 40 to 80 minutes, and it's where you are competing with other smartphone manufacturers on the global market. There's not a lot of information out there about this one. It's sort of medium complexity, and Ivan Lashin, the designer, also currently in the hotness for bringing us Furnace, which I'm very much looking forward to playing. It looks great. So yeah, this is my number 2. If it can even be 50% of what Smartphone Inc. was, I will be happy. Over to number 1 then. Here we go. And this is, here we are, it's Ark Nova. Okay, this game is heavy complexity, but the theme just grabbed me. You're basically designing a modern zoo to run a successful park and to support conservation projects. It oozes terraforming Mars and underwater cities vibe to me. You've got this one plays 1 to 4 players, says it takes 90 to 150 minutes, and as I say, heavy complexity. Now, in terms of what it's about, you can see clearly from the image here, it's got that environmental aspect, and you can see here the back of the box, and you can see some of the components. Again, there's not too much out there on this one. It says it's got hand management, card drafting. I love card drafting. And in this game, it says you are designing a modern, scientifically managed zoo with the ultimate goal of owning the most successful zoological establishment. You're building closures, accommodate animals, support conservation projects all over the world. Specialists and unique buildings will help you in achieving this goal. Now, one thing that really caught my attention was the use of the cards, and it says each player has a set of 5 action cards to manage their gameplay, and the power of an action is determined by the slot currently occupied. So the cards in question, you've got cards that allow you to gain new zoo cards like animals, sponsors. You can build, which allows you to get those standard or special enclosures, kiosks and pavilions to make money. Animals, you get actual animals into zoos, so allowing you to accommodate those. Association, allowing you to carry out various different tasks, and sponsors, so you can play a sponsor card in the zoo to raise money. So a lot of good things here. The way it looks, the feel, the artwork, and how those actions play out. I'm really buzzed about this one. And there we are, folks. Top 10, sort of shorter insights into those. And I wish all of you who attend the convention a very safe and enjoyable trip. Take care.